Thank you for clicking in this video. In this gripping tale of survival, trust is shattered, fear takes hold, and escaping the shadows may be the only way to stay alive.
The jungle had always been a place of mystery and danger, but I never expected the overwhelming silence that greeted us as we ventured deeper into the Amazon. The air was thick with humidity, each breath feeling like a struggle as we hacked through the dense foliage. We were a team of 5 seasoned explorers with a thirst for uncovering the unknown. Our mission was simple: find evidence of a lost civilization rumored to have thrived long before the Incas, a civilization said to possess knowledge that could change the course of human history. I, Patrick, was the team leader, and despite the gravity of our mission, I couldn't shake the unease that had settled in my chest the moment we set foot in the jungle. It was more than just the natural dangers of the Amazon. There was something else, something unseen but palpably present. The local tribes had warned us, speaking in hushed tones about spirits that guarded the ancient ruins, but we had dismissed their tales as mere superstition. Now, I wasn't so sure. 2 days into our expedition, we found the ruins. Or rather, the ruins found us. A massive stone structure, half consumed by the jungle, loomed before us, its presence both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The carvings on the walls were unlike anything we'd ever seen. Intricate, haunting depictions of beings that seemed neither human nor animal. As we moved closer, the air grew colder, and I could feel the eyes of unseen entities watching our every move. We set up camp near the ruins, planning to explore them the next morning. But that night, the jungle came alive with sounds that chilled us to the bone. Distant wails, whispers carried on the wind, and the rustling of leaves as if something unseen was circling our camp. My instincts screamed at me to leave, but the weight of our mission and the promise of discovery kept us anchored to that cursed place. At dawn, we entered the ruins, the air inside thick with an oppressive energy that made it hard to breathe. As we ventured deeper, we found a chamber, its walls lined with bizarre fungal growths that pulsed as if alive. Dr. Evans, our team's botanist, was fascinated by the fungi, claiming it was unlike anything he'd ever encountered. He scraped a sample into a vial, and that's when everything started to go wrong. It began with a faint buzzing in my head, growing louder until it was a deafening roar. I saw the others clutching their heads in pain, their eyes wide with terror. Then came the visions, horrific images of beings, twisted and monstrous, emerging from the fungi-covered walls, their mouths moving as if chanting. I couldn't understand the words, but the meaning was clear. We had trespassed on sacred ground. In a panic, we fled the chamber, but the damage was done. Over the next few hours, strange things began to happen. Dr. Evans was the first to show symptoms, a glazed look in his eyes, his movements sluggish, as if he were no longer in control of his body. By nightfall, he was gone, his tent empty, the jungle silent once more. We searched for him, calling out his name, but it was as if he had vanished into thin air. That's when we noticed the first signs of the infection. The same fungi that lined the ruins now sprouting from the trees around our camp, the air thick with spores that glowed faintly in the darkness. The others began to show symptoms next. Marta, our archaeologist, started speaking in tongues, her voice deep and resonant, as if another entity was speaking through her. It wasn't long before the others succumbed. Marcus and Lydia, once rational and composed, now spoke of spirits guiding them, their eyes hollow and vacant. I tried to keep my sanity, to hold on to the reality of our situation, but it was slipping through my fingers like sand. I knew we had to leave, but the jungle had other plans. The paths we had taken before now led nowhere, the ruins always looming in the distance no matter which direction we walked. The nights were the worst, filled with nightmares that felt all too real. I'd wake to find the others standing around my tent, their eyes glowing faintly in the dark, whispering in that strange language. I knew then that the spirits had claimed them, that they were no longer the people I had known. Desperation drove me to flee, to find a way out of the jungle and away from the horrors that lurked within. Days blurred together as I stumbled through the dense foliage, my mind playing tricks on me, showing me visions of the lost civilization, the beings they worshipped, and the fate that had befallen them. The fungi had taken root in their souls, just as it was now doing to my team. I was the last one left, but for how long? I was on the brink of collapse when I saw it. A small clearing with the faint outlines of a path leading out of the jungle. Hope surged through me as I pushed forward, ignoring the pain in my body and the buzzing in my head. But as I reached the clearing, I froze. There, standing in the middle, was Dr. Evans, or what used to be him. His eyes were empty sockets, his skin covered in the same fungal growths we had seen in the ruins. He spoke, but the voice was not his own. It was the voice of something ancient, something that had been waiting for us to come. "You cannot leave, Patrick," it said, each word dripping with malice. "You belong to us now." I turned and ran, the jungle closing in around me, the whispers growing louder with each step. I knew then that there was no escape, that I was doomed to wander these cursed woods until the fungi claimed me as it had the others. But there was still one last thing I needed to do. I had to destroy the ruins, to stop the spread of the infection before it could reach the outside world. I stumbled back to the camp, grabbing what little supplies remained. I rigged explosives, setting them around the entrance to the ruins, my hands shaking as I worked. The whispers were in my head now, telling me to stop, to join them, but I fought against it with every ounce of strength I had left. As I lit the fuse, I saw them, the spirits, emerging from the jungle, their eyes glowing with ancient power. They reached out for me, their fingers brushing against my skin, and I knew that this was the end. The explosion rocked the jungle, the ground shaking as the ruins collapsed in on themselves, the fungal spores igniting in a brilliant blaze of light. I fell to the ground, the world spinning around me, my vision fading to black. I thought it was over, that I had won, but then I heard it, the faint sound of footsteps growing closer. I opened my eyes, expecting to see the spirits, but instead, I saw my team. Dr. Evans, Marta, Marcus, Lydia, standing over me, their faces twisted into grotesque smiles. "You did well, Patrick," they said in unison, their voices a chilling chorus. "But it's too late. The spirits are free, and you will lead them." I tried to scream, to fight, but my body wouldn't respond. The fungi had taken root, spreading through my veins, and I could feel the spirits taking hold. My last thought before the darkness consumed me was that I had failed, that the world would soon know the same terror that had claimed us. But then, just as everything went black, I saw a flash of light, a vision of the outside world, untouched by the horrors of the jungle. And I realized, with a sickening jolt, that the spirits had never intended to keep us there. No, they had a much darker plan in mind. We were not their prisoners. We were their messengers, and the infection was already spreading.
If you want to watch another story, there is another video appearing on your screen now. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more spine-chilling stories.